Oh boy, we've got another of these videos. I saw this one. And I just like, oh, I gotta react to this. $600 million budget and 10 years. Where is Star Citizen? Oh my gosh. I have a feeling I'm gonna get angry. Let's see.
It's been over a decade since Star Citizen was first announced to the world. Picturing itself as an in-depth space MMO, Star Citizen has been developed by gaming studio Cloud Imperium Games, a studio that has yet to release a full game since it was founded back in 2011. Chris Roberts,
That's because this studio is meant to make Star Citizen. It takes time. You know, making this video ahead just before CitizenCon is a bit too premature. If I were already... Who made this video? Senseless, he's got 761 subscribers. Senseless. Making this video does not make a lot of sense. Senseless. See what I did, guys? Pro tip here, be informed of the events. Sometimes wait and see is the best solution. And then see if after CitizenCon there are announcements or not as of maybe Squadron 42 is going to be released or not, right? And then make a video like this. But let's see.
man behind Cloud Imperium Games and Star Citizen, continues to serve as the game director. And I mean, take a close look at this man, everyone, because he is a genius. Star Citizen was announced and offered up to gamers as a Kickstarter project in 2000.
Wrong! The guy's not informed. The crowdfunding campaign started on the original website, robertspaceindustries.com, first. The Kickstarter came after.
2012, it has raised over $600 million, which the developer claims goes directly into the game's development. So on paper, Star Citizen is officially the most expensive video game to have ever been developed.
That's true.
It costs more than Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2, and any other game you can think of.
Yep.
10 years later, with $600 million raised.
And look at that crappy footage. Look at this. Star Citizen, definitely already in its alpha stage, looks much better than this piece of crap.
$1 million raised and
That's exactly right. It's got more than any release game. Exactly, Gruff.
and suing the game maker in an attempt to get their pledges back. The one question on my mind is, when is Star Citizen ever going to be fully released? And after spending...
It's the wrong question. It's never going to be fully released because it's always going to be having new things added to the game. What I suggest to Mr. Senseless here is get himself an account. Maybe if he doesn't like Star Citizen, don't buy it. Wait until there is a free flight event. So you can try the game for free, get in and see how many things you can do in the game and how much fun you can have in Star Citizen, and then you'll talk.
A good amount of time researching and trying to source a confirmed date, I soon realized that I was asking the wrong question. Why would Cloud Imperium Games and Chris Roberts ever want to fully release Star Citizen? Back in the day,
even when Star Citizen will have a 1.0 version, they are still going to be adding things to the game. New ships are still going to make their way into the game that people will be able to buy with real money first. That's their business model. Of course, it's always going to be. Even when Star Citizen will be in version 1.0, things are not going to change.
Chris Roberts was responsible for one of the most iconic space flight games in existence, the Wing Commander franchise, with the game first coming out in 1990. After founding Digital Anvil, which Microsoft had a minority stake in, 3 further games were released. However, Microsoft wasn't happy with Chris Roberts, and when they fully purchased Digital Anvil, Roberts left the company. His last credit to a fully completed game was Freelancer, released in the same year he left. Now this next bit is going to sound vaguely familiar to the current circumstances around Star Citizen, and I'm not one who believes in coincidences. So during the few years where Microsoft was invested in Digital Anvil and Chris Roberts, well, Roberts was working on the Wing Commander film. He also
which is a pretty bad film, actually. I don't know if you guys watched it. It's oh my gosh.
directed the film, which starred Freddie Prinze Jr. and was released in 1999 on a budget of around $27 million. It ended up recouping just over a third against its budget, and Stuart Mulder, Microsoft's general manager overseeing its investment, revealed that Roberts' energy and attention and some of the funds were siphoned off for that movie. The Digital Anvil investment has to be looked at as largely a failure. Roberts eventually went into the movie-making business, producing forgettable films such as Outlander, The Big White, and Lord of War.
Well, Lord of War was fine, actually.
All of this was achieved through an investment fund using a tax scheme to raise money in Germany for Hollywood films. This practice was stopped by the German government in 2006, and the man in charge of that investment fund was eventually jailed for tax.
Okay, are we talking about Star Citizen, or are we talking about Chris Roberts' past? This has nothing to do with the development of Star Citizen so far. I mean, what's the narrative here?
After playing filmmaker in the 2000s, Roberts eventually returned to gaming with Cloud Imperium Games and Star Citizen. Rather than have a company like Microsoft overseeing where and how the budget is being spent, Roberts quickly had access to hundreds of millions in pledged cash to spend on whatever he wanted to spend it on. Just imagine, 10 years later, after being ousted by a company that wasn't happy with how you were spending your money, to then see a budget rapidly grow by the year and having next to no accountability. Squadron 40...
That's not true. There is accountability. Us, the backers, give accountability. And we've seen that before. If we're not happy, then, we stop spending so much money. If we're happy with the development, we spend more. That's what it is. Yeah, right? Chris Roberts bad equals Star Citizen bad. That's his logic. Seems like that's what it is, Gruff.
2 is probably one of the biggest examples of this. Developed as a single-player game set within the Star Citizen universe, Chris Roberts spared no expense with its cast. Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill, Gillian Anderson,
This was a pledge goal! This is not Chris Roberts' choice, that was our choice. We said yes. Chris Roberts asked us, do you want to have these A-listers in the cast? We said yes. We funded these actors to be part of Squadron 42. That's not Chris Roberts, that's us, the backers. This guy has got no idea of what he's talking about.
Strong and Andy Serkis are just some of the names attached to this game, ultimately letting Roberts play movie director once more. Finally enough,
yeah, and that's what we wanted.
Squadron 42 is still yet to be given an actual release date, with the
Yeah. Yeah, you're making this video a few weeks before CitizenCon, where we are probably going to be hearing a lot about Squadron 42, by the way.
last trailer for the game released back in 2019. Mark today, a former Wing Commander producer.
In the meantime, we're seeing this crappy B-roll footage about whatever stupid game this is. This Valorant? I don't even know what it is, because I don't play games that look this ugly.
Used to help work on Star Citizen said, as the money rolled in, what I considered to be some of Robert's old bad habits popped up. Not being super focused.
Who is Mark Day? Who is this guy?
It had got out of hand in my opinion. The promises being made, call it
Overwatch.
Creep, call it whatever it is. Now we can do this, now we can do that. I was shocked.
Yeah, now we can do this, now we can do it. Guess what? It's happening. Now we are doing this. Now we are doing that. Yeah, if he was playing Star Citizen instead of playing Overwatch, he would know that now we have seamless transition from space to planet. People have been whining that we don't have seamless transitions from space to planet when in Starfield, for example. Now we have, you can go to one place to another without any loading screens. People are whining right now about Starfield that there are loading screens all the time, right? Now we have amazing photorealistic graphics in landing zones, in space, on planet surfaces. People are whining that Starfield has pretty ugly graphics at times, right? We have NPCs, which are actually very well modeled. People are whining the NPCs in Starfield look like crap. Come on. It's always like that, right? People are never happy.
Reports of developers being forced to work through snowstorms to Crytek.
That's not true. This was debunked already that this was not true. People were not forced to work during the snowstorm. In fact, this has been debunked by CIG employees themselves, who have defended the company, said that actually CIG was quite understanding that people could not go out.
Storms to Crytek suing Star Citizen around.
Which, by the way, they lost. Crytek lost. There was a settlement eventually. But the settlement benefited Cloud Imperium Games.
This game engine license and everything else in between. To me, it's very obvious that Chris Roberts has zero intention of ever releasing Star.
And that is how you get stuck with 761 subscribers.
Citizen or Squadron 42. Scam Citizen is a
Scam Citizen.
that showcases the dangers of endless ambition without any thought or oversight. If you were given a blank check to continue developing a game without any accountability of ever releasing it, as technically it has been released in alpha, why would you want to stop that?
It was debunked after he was exactly right. This guy's got he didn't do his homework. He's got absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
Baby train. And don't get me wrong, some of the technological feats Scam Citizen displays are incredible, but it basically amounts this game to being a very expensive tech demo, which is preyed off people that genuinely want to see and play a space sim game. Just look at the success Starfield is currently having.
I mean, I enjoy Starfield a lot, but I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 because Starfield has a lot of shortcomings that precisely Star Citizen does not.
Demand for games like this is there, but that hasn't been truly capitalized on by the gaming industry. If you're happy to spend several grand on a ship,
you don't have to. You can if you want, because that supports the project. Nobody forces you. You can play Star Citizen and be very happy with it, with only a game package worth $45 US, and that is it.
And buy into Scam Citizen, then you do you. But right now, I'm already waiting for the article where $1 billion has been raised and no release date has been released. Comment down below your thoughts on.
Oh, yeah. I really wonder what the comments are, if they are. My goodness. Not really a scam, you get what you pay for. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, it feels like a scam. That's your opinion because you're not informed. If you're not informed, I guess it does feel like a scam, perhaps. But once you're informed, you know what's going on, you've been following the project for quite some time, it's not. And you cannot say it is. I'm sorry. Well, I wish you all the best, Senseless, but you need to make sense with what you are talking about.